Something that I love doing is having 3 visual piggy bank, 1 small, 1 medium size, and 1 large one. For young ones, you can put that in your registry. You're expecting in your baby registry. Put those 3 piggy bank, cool. And then start making them understand. The small one is for spending. The medium one is for saving, and then the large one is for investing. And whenever it fills up.
Welcome to the Adriana Ostapenko podcast. I'm here with my really good friend, Aqui, financially savvy girl. I'm so happy that you're here. Thanks for coming. I'm so excited to have you as always. Aki's a really good friend. She's a really smart businesswoman. She also is, a lawyer and does a lot of work as an expert in her own industry as well. But I'll let you introduce yourself because I know you have a kid's book that just came out. I can't wait to read it for the kids. But tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, sounds good. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Adriana, for having me on the podcast again. I think this is my first time actually appearing in the live podcast right here. So thank you for having me. You are dear to me, so I really value and appreciate our friendship. So for everyone else, Aqui, I'm known as a financially savvy girl on social media, and that's my business brand. And I'm also the co-founder of the Women Investors Network Canada. And I'm a lawyer by trade. I am an author, and yes, I wrote 3 children's books on money management because as a real estate investor, I believe fundamentally in the importance of financial literacy and teaching the next generation how to start cultivating the right mindset and having tools in their toolbox to really manage their money effectively. So this is my writings are my contribution to the next generation, and it's just the beginning. So I hope there's more to come. So that's me in a nutshell.
Just this mountain of things. I love that so much. I can't wait to read it. I wish I had read it so I can tell you all about it right now, but I will. And I'll share the link as well on the YouTube channel when this comes out, and on Instagram for people to go and get a copy of the books.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
so excited. It's like we wanted to kind of touch upon, and coming from the books as well, what does generational wealth look like, and how do you see generational wealth, and can you teach us a little bit about what that looks like for you?
Absolutely. To me, a lot of the things that I teach is really deriving from the Bible. I do believe that as people, as parents, as a man, really, in the Bible talks about a man leaves wealth to his children's children. So to me, that's one of the most powerful things that we can possibly do. And it's just really leaving, asset producing, passive income, asset producing, income, and, income producing asset rather to children, whether it's properties and children's children. In fact, something that can go down for generations to come. And although they're going to have to learn how to make for themselves, but they're not starting from scratch. And I think it's so important. And it goes beyond just assets. It goes, for me, in values as well. It goes in, giving them the proper toolboxes to do the proper knowledge and understanding so they can then know how to properly cultivate that and multiply that. So generational wealth is 3-dimensional. It is physical, tangible. It is also mindset. And it is also, for me, it is also spiritual. And it's really understanding that, with God, they can achieve anything. And then to have the proper value and the mindset to go after what they want. And to know how to manage their finance well, so the financial literacy. In addition to that, to have the tangible assets that they can then multiply. So that's what I try to give back to our children.
I love that. That's such a full picture because it does take all the different aspects a child that grows up in a home that has, an understanding or, healthy beliefs around money and business and growing and investments, what hands up we're giving them. I didn't grow up in a home that had that kind of education or financial literacy. And, I do think I feel like my mom grabbed me and literally took me as far as she possibly could.
Right.
And I feel grateful for that. And now I feel like I'm taking the torch from there and doing the same for my kids and just pushing them as far as I can. Yeah. It's a picture I have in my head, literally pushing, propelling them as far as I can in my lifetime, and then they're going to do the same for their kids.
Exactly.
And it just keeps the generational wealth keeps passing on when it comes to mindset, values, beliefs, assets, money, business, all this understanding, and how exciting that is, and standard of living, I love that. That's a beautiful mission too, that you understanding that, and now giving the gift to all of us as well through your books.
And I think children, if you start this at an early age, because let's be honest, the school system has completely failed in that aspect in terms of really teaching children how, financial literacy. It has been a huge gap. There's a huge gap in the education system when it comes to that. So now, the school systems are breathing employees, right? They're breathing people who you work hard and you have 2-3 weeks of vacation and you put in all the work. The lessons of working hard isn't the wrong lesson. That is right. You work hard regardless. But it's just really shifting your understanding of, you can actually create businesses. You don't just have to have a 9-to-5. You can create businesses around here. You can budget properly. You can invest. You need to learn how to do this. So our daughter, you see mommy, you see what she's wearing, and I think sometimes people misunderstand. They see you wearing certain things. I wear the things that I own shares in. And I'm serious.
That's amazing.
It's you're like, oh, where'd you get that? Zara. Well, guess what? This girl owns shares in Zara. Okay,
amazing.
you purchased this at Shein. Well, guess what? Shein. Well, I own shares in there. Understanding that go beyond the surface, And so she likes Disney. She likes all these things. So sitting down with her and being like, okay, well, let's buy some shares. Okay, you like this? You want to watch this? Okay, let's see if it's available out there and let's buy some shares. Do you want it? So those concepts were so important as she started growing, and taking her to properties that we own and be like, okay, this is our home. This is, we own this, and then she goes, okay, but this is somebody else's home. Yes, but we have to make it clean because they're our clients, and you have to respect, you have to treat them like clients. You have to respect. So understanding the value of treating tenants properly, and also that visually her seeing that, we own these properties, but then you have to take care of it. So there's so many things that we can do in terms of just teaching our children. And I try to just take a lot of that and put them in books, and there's so much more to come. But I had to do 3 because I couldn't do 1, because I'm just like, I need to do
too much to share.
So much. So baby step, the little ones, what's money? Mama, what's money? And it's really an entry level into what is money and how money was created, and how, what you should be very low level 3 to 5, what you should start understanding about money. And then what's a piggy bank? Something that I love doing is having 3 visual piggy bank, 1 small, 1 medium size, and 1 large one. For young ones, you can put that in your registry. You're expecting in your baby registry. Put those 3 piggy bank, and then start making them understand. The small one is for spending. The medium one is for saving, and then the large one is for investing. And whenever it fills up, and then they have accounts, and then you take them and they empty that. I remember the first time we took our daughter to empty her account, her investment account. she cried and she was like, she did not want to let it out of the piggy bank. And that spoke to me. I'm like, this is what we do. Like, we hoarder.
Yes.
We hoarder money, like in savings and all of this. And don't get me wrong, we save for emergency, but beyond that, you should be investing, right? But we don't want to see money leave spending account. We don't want to. And you see this from a young age. This was, at the time she was 4. She did not. She was like, I want it in my piggy bank. I was like, oh my God, this is what we do. But then having that lesson that teaches, if it's sitting in there, it's not really making money for you. It will stay that amount. But if you put it here, and if you start buying shares, like you like that movie, you like that Disney, you like, okay, you start buying those things, then the money grows, and then you'll see, like it's way bigger. You got to leave room in your piggy bank to add more in your piggy bank, and you have to put that in the market so that it can make and multiply money for you. So if we start teaching them this at a young age, then we are breathing healthier, wealthier adults who already have the right mindset to be investors and not spender and savers.
I love that. So I think I told you about my daughter private lends with us.
Yes, I love
and
that.
I love that. So like today is the 15th. It's the days I usually do private lending, like payments. So I usually send her a screenshot of like, hi Amy, you have made, you know, whatever it is. It's like right now it's like $12.50 of interest this month.
I love that.
Would you like to take out your interest? Would you like to reinvest it? And I give her the option. She knows now that it will compound, and then she slightly gets more and more every month if she keeps reinvesting those funds.
Look at this. You're teaching her drip. Like,
right? Compound interest, baby. She's like, oh, thank you, mommy. I want to reinvest. She's never taking it out. She's just like, yeah, keep it going. How much is it this month now? So I love that. And like, it took some understanding from my perspective of how to have those conversations. But honestly, I let her guide it. Like the kids guide us too. I'm like, you're such a massive reflection of like, with your questions, with like what you want to do, listening to what, you know, and being able to guide her there. And it's so fun. And it's so nice because the concept that she has now of investing and knowing that your money will grow and seeing it on paper every month, or not on paper, on WhatsApp, but like, you know, just keeps that momentum going.
I love that. And I think there's like 3 types of parenting. There's the parenting who is not consciously, you know, taking steps to, you know, direct their children into this life of generational wealth, like not creating, whether it is limiting beliefs or, because I do believe no matter how much you have or little you have, just little thing that you can start, even if you're investing $1, like it doesn't matter. So there's that parenting who's not taking steps and kind of just letting life happen. There's the second parenting style where they're doing the things and they're quietly doing it, but they're not having the conversation and including their children in the doing. So they're breathing children who may be well, you know, later on at some point, but they're leaving the home still not knowing how to manage their own finances. So those are still potentially adults who are going to continue making mistakes that their parents have made while their parents are building. And then there's a third type of parenting, the parents who are building, they're being conscious about building for the children, but inviting them along the ride with that financial literacy from an early age and doing what you're doing and being intentional about sending her on the 15 those messaging about, hey, you have this investment, and teaching her as you're growing. And as she's growing, she's also now, when she becomes an adult, she doesn't just have the tangible assets, but now she also has the tools and the knowledge and applied knowledge to really know what to do and continue on that legacy. And I think for me, that third intentionality in parenthood is where I want to continue going. And this is why this is so important for us. So.
You know what hit me as you're saying that? I have literally been all 3 parents.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm now looking back, I see my progression in my personal life because we're so intentional about continuing to work on ourselves. And it's literally like, I need the mask on myself first. I needed to learn this stuff. I didn't know it either. So I took the time to like if I can teach you what I don't know, so let me go learn about this. Let me go learn about how to create wealth. Let me go learn about how to multiply it.
Right.
You know, how to manage money, how to grow money, how to build businesses, how to invest. And I took this like a few years to really learn some of that stuff before I could even and then I was doing it quietly because I was doing it, but I didn't know how to teach it.
Right.
You know, and then now I'm at a place where I'm like, oh, like it's now I know, and it comes so natural to talk about it and teach it just because of our day to day.
Exactly.
And then now I can add intentionality to that teaching of like, oh, there are little things that I can start to do and bigger things too, to teach them how to do this now.
Yeah.
So I love that description, and it's possible for you as a parent to move yourself up that scale.
Absolutely.
From subconscious living to intentionally building wealth for your family, and then to intentionally now teaching and passing that on to your kids.
Exactly. I love that. And it's true. It's never too late.
It's never
too late to start. It's never too late to start your own education. It's never too late to implement it in your life, and it's never too late to start passing a better example for your children to follow. So, and then to put it down in writing so other family and children, for me, it was really important to have books. And, so I've been asked before, why children books? And I'm like, well, because it serves so many different fold in one. The parent who is reading to the child is learning. And the child who's being read to or is reading is also learning. So that alone, from a family perspective, you are shifting minds. And then you have also the school boards who are now interested in the books, right? So now you have an entire school system or education system where there's this huge gap, who are now starting to catch on. And as an individual, if I can just do a little bit of something to help change some of the issue, to be part of the solution, then why not?
What's the name of the book?
Okay, so there's Mommy, What's Money? There is What Should I Do with My Allowance? What Should I Do with My Allowance is probably the biggest it's not probably, it is the biggest. I couldn't stop with one story. It's 5 stories in one book. So you have this girl who receives an allowance, and she's asking her mom, what should I do with my allowance? And then there's the introduction of this wallet, who is a whole personality in it that transforms into different thing. And the transformation is, into an ant, and ants are known to be super smart in terms of the planning. So the ant is saving ant or saving grace, and then really teaches the importance of budgeting and saving, and then transforms into another person. I'm not going to tell the whole thing. You got to read
You got to buy the book.
Then transform, and then talks about the importance of budgeting, then transforms and talks about investing, and then transforms again.
Wow.
And then there's also the piggy bank book. So Mommy, What's a Piggy Bank? And that's really through the lens of, I put more an image, sort of our sons, So I as I wrote books, I imagined my own children, but I didn't want to make the books about my children because I wanted other people to see their children as well, while also promoting really the importance of representation in literacy. I want children who look like my children, who look like me, to also see themselves through those, and other people to also see children who are diverse through those books. So there's a lot of intentionality on my end that went through that. So, and then you see the son who's kind of progressing with the piggy bank, what I explained, the different things about the piggy bank. And at the end, it talks about kind of he cannot wait to tell you about the power of compound interest and investing. So just waiting for a continuity of that as well. So I'm super excited about this because I feel I can't see myself stop writing, to be honest. Already working on other stuff, and I know they were slow down. I'm I can't, I don't know how. So yeah.
Do not slow down.
Do not slow down. They want translations in French. I have plans, and recently we just found out that our Harvard bookstore started carrying the books, and there's like so many distributors who are picking up on the books. So I'm just super humbled at something, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist,
Oh, I didn't know that about you.
So it took forever, like the revisions. And it's a children's book. Like, who cares about it? I'm just like, no, I want the readers to see themselves, to feel it. But it's never, my point is, it never got to a point where I felt like it was perfect. And you need to be okay, and I needed to be okay releasing what I felt it was not perfect, but you have to release and you have to trust the process. Like, they're picking it up because they think it's perfect for what they're looking for their audience. And you're sitting there with your gifts and your craft, and you're like, oh, I can't release it to the world yet because it doesn't meet my expectation of whatever it is. And sometimes we just limit our own blessings, So anyways, it's out there, and
I want to thank you and appreciate you for being so brave and courageous to tap into that purpose that you felt inside of you, and be willing to do the work and put it out, because that how much value that brings to everybody else. And I appreciate you for doing that and going through those processes and learning to release things and be okay and be courageous to put it out. And no wonder it's resonating, so I'm so happy for that. Again, I can't wait to read them. You tapped into something so insightful there, that we go through these journeys and we do limit ourselves a lot. As you're saying that, I'm like, oh, all these other areas of my life that I'm like, oh, I can see that I've been doing that about this thing, So tell me a little bit about how were you able to go through the different, phases of that experience to the point where you were eventually ready to put it out?
Oh man!
And how can I collapse time on that? Yeah, teach me how to do it in a few steps here.
Oh man, that's such a great question. Understanding, for me anyways, it was understanding that I am really just a vessel. Okay. I am really just a vessel. It's almost like you have to get rid of pride. You have to get rid of pride and humble yourself. It's really not about you. I had to be it's not about me. It's not about my understanding of the end product. Obviously, you operate from a place of excellence. You put your best foot forward, but understanding that you're not the one who does everything else. It's releasing control, releasing pride, releasing all of that, and understanding I'm just a vessel, and if God gave this vision, it's because, and he chose me to do this, and he's keeping me up at night telling me how to do this, is because he has already equipped and he has already made a way for this to happen and to be manifested. And it's walking in that line of obedience and understanding that I'm really not in control of all those other things that you worry about, and just surrendering and understanding, you know what, my job is to write these books, to make sure that, the illustration is a reflection of the vision that I had, and then trusting God to do what he will do with it, because it is not really up to me. So removing myself out of that equation and saying my job here is done. God, I've done what you've asked, and I trust that you will do what you will do, because you don't allow anything that you start really to fall on empty ground. That is it's easier said than done. It's a humbling process, because I had to be enough, and now I'm just walking my life in there, whether it's relationships or anything, career, anything. I show up I show up putting my best foot forward in everything. And if I don't, and if I fall short, then I apologize, and I am willing to grow and learn. But I no longer weigh that heavy backpack of, you know, burden and like thinking you have to fix everything and do everything. Like, no, I'm letting go of that.
You just described really well the feminine energy right there.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
Surrender, letting it go, going with the flow, not carrying the responsibility, not having to assert your way into things, although you have that power, you know, like letting it be guided by this inner being, by God, by this inner voice. That's the flow of the feminine energy. And that's because you feel safe, because you know who's guiding you, which is God, and then you feel safe to surrender and to let go of control. Look how beautiful that is.
That's, I mean, I never thought that I could know how to describe this. So this is, but again, it just shows you how it's really not me. And I went really intentional earlier this year in really asking for better understanding and wisdom. And you know, through really like meditation, a lot of prayer, a lot of really spending time in the Word, like 40 days and all of this, of just intentionally, you know, pouring in and allowing God to speak to me. And what I realized from that is, honestly, wisdom comes from God. It doesn't come from any accomplishments that I do. It doesn't come from any lessons that I learn. It doesn't come from any of that. And so I'm just letting him really take over and guide, truly, not just saying it, but really letting it happen.
Yes, that's beautiful. That's like a beautiful, powerful, empowering feminine energy right there.
With God.
I love it. Thank you. I'm happy to end it here if you are, just because I know you have to go. This was a beautiful conversation, and when I come visit you, we can do another one. Yeah, because I just definitely need to continue. I'm going to put the link. First of all, where can people find you?
Yeah, so on Instagram at financially_savvy_girl. I'm a lot more active there. My website is financiallysavvygirl.ca. They can find the books there, or a direct link from my Instagram. There's a direct link to my website, and if you just scroll down, you'll see the links for the children's book. And if you don't know any of that and you're still trying to find it, you can just Google, you know, like Aqui K Dapaah, and then the books are coming up pretty much as soon as you start. So Aqui K Dapaah books, and they're coming up there, and you can just order directly from any distributor that you feel, you know, wanting to order from.
Amazing. I will be adding links to our Instagram stories, to our YouTube channel as well. So make sure you go and order, give it as gifts out. You know, it's Father's Day coming up too. It's a great gift for fathers to read with their kids. And you know, make sure to get lots of copies. I'm so excited to read it, and I can't wait to see you soon again. Thank you so much for coming.
Can't wait to have you at the cottage again.